It's another Rotron Biscuit fan. This one is different. It says Comair Rotron, 12 volts, 10.8 watts, 0.90 amps. And that's really about all it has to say there. There's a date of June 6th, 1988. And this has some gunky stuff on it, which is catching cat fur and towel fibers and stuff like that. The gunky stuff is actually left over from some Velcro, from where this actually came from. I don't know where it came from originally. It was probably used in some old IBM equipment to cool it. Wouldn't be my guess, because that's where the other ones came from. This is actually metal, maybe to act as a flywheel. It's very similar to the 120 volt one I have, but this is 12. I used to use this in my old Chevy. It did not have a rear window defogger, and what I did was that car had like triangular windows in the back behind the rear door window before the trunk, because it was a hatchback, and there was sort of a shelf area there, like the rear deck in the car behind the back seat, but it was sort of a side shelf thing, and I put it there angled as such at the hatchback window, so it was sort of up just about like this, the way it sat there, and I Velcroed it in place. That was what I had at the time. It ran on 12 volts, the car ran on 12 volts, and it was perfect. And what was it for? Well, it was to help sort of defog or defrost the rear window. Did it work? Yeah, it absolutely did work. Not very quickly, because all I was blowing was interior cold air of the car at the window, but after like 10 minutes you already saw a spot that was getting clear on it, and if I had the heat on in the car, then eventually it would start circulating, you know, warmer air that it was throwing at the window, and it actually did work. On the really cold days, this thing, I never oiled it. I still haven't, even to this day, and it's a little noisy, but on the really frozen days, it would make that kind of sound, and it just didn't want to run, so I would have to shut it off, turn it back on, leave it for a few seconds, hope it didn't make that sound again. If it did, I would have to shut it off and turn it back on and play that game and all that. So anyway, it's just temporary wired. This is the old transformer out of the grandma lamp that is very safely wired to 120 volts, as you see. And we'll go ahead and fire this guy up. Turn on the switch. So certainly noisy and could stand some oil, but I'm not going to do that now. Let me see if I can get my anemometer on. It's been in the garage where it's like freezing cold. There we go. We're ready. We'll move this back to about there. Wires are almost shorting, so we're good. Turn it back on. And we're reading, well, maybe a little close. Yeah, that's more like it. About 708, 708.7, as compared to the 120 volt ones that were doing like between 850 and 950. So at least now you have a comparison of numbers between them. And you can tell that the 120 volt ones do better than the 12 volt ones. Oh, one of my wires came off. but I'll power it back up for you here. This way you could see in here. So that's really about it. Now, I'm not exactly sure how to open these, if they can be opened. I can peel the sticker off, and it looks like the bearing is there, but there's got to be a way to open these, and I'm not sure how that's done. If anybody knows how to open them, I would much appreciate finding out from you how to open them. But anyway, that was just a quick look at the very last of these blowers that I have. I don't have any more. I just have 3 in total. The 220 volt ones and this 12 volt. The Comair Rotron Biscuit 12 volt DC blower. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.